Pick it up and blow the dog hair off, you can eat it. No, this is something that I invented by mistake. I invented it in a moment in my life when I was about to lose everything. It was a moment that required this. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the word courage, I tend to think about the big stuff, right? I think about a life or death moment, I think about my heroes, but I want you to consider, when it comes to mindset, when it comes to having more, courage is also the little stuff. Because courage, by definition, it's just the ability to do things that feel difficult, scary, uncertain, or new. There are conversations that you gotta have right now that require courage. There are things that you need to deal with in your family that require courage. And in order to tell you the story of the 5-second rule, I gotta take you back 10 years when it literally took courage for me to get out of bed. Here's what was happening. Every single morning when that alarm would go off at 6 a.m., this is what I felt like doing. Anybody else ever feel like that? Well, for those of you that can just spring out of bed, first of all, you're a weirdo. Secondly, I want you to use the alarm clock as a metaphor in this story, okay? The alarm clock represents your soul. It represents the power, the wisdom, the more that's in you, that's in each and every one of you. It's like an alarm that goes off all day long. It's like, speak up, show up, yeah, do that thing. It's signaling you, it's begging you, it's calling for your greatness. And so back to the story, every morning when that alarm would go off, I would wake up, that's what would happen, and then all of a sudden there would be this like little bubble of doubt that would start to fill up. And I'd start thinking. And I was thinking about all the things going on in my life. We were facing bankruptcy, we had lost our life savings, we had lost the college fund, we were about to lose the house. My husband of 22 years is a really smart guy. He was sleeping on the couch, you know, because I was not that nice. His restaurant business was going under. And honestly, there was literally always an excuse not to get out of bed. Always. And as soon as the alarm went off, I knew what to do. I knew I should get up. I knew I should look for a job. I knew I should not be so mean to Chris. I knew I should do a lot of things. But within 5 seconds flat, I was hitting the snooze alarm over and over and over again. And then I would wake up and I'd be late and I'd snap at the kids and then I'd be a grouch all day. It was a disaster. Here's the thing. I want you to understand something. You know what to do. Just like I knew what I should be doing. The question is, can you make yourself do it when you don't feel like it? And you know, I don't think any of us do this. I don't think any of us wake up in the morning and go, oh, I have today's the day I'm going to screw up my life. I'm going to hit the snooze alarm 4 times, and I'm going to race into the kitchen, and I'm going to snap at the kids, and then I'm going to drink a big dark cup of coffee and skip breakfast. My stomach's going to hurt. I'm going to drive to work, and I'm going to snap at people as I go, and then I'm going to walk in the front door, and then I'm going to yell at the first person I see. Then I'm going to go to my desk, and I'm going to look at Facebook. That's it. And then I'm going to blow off all the phone calls I need to make, and I'm going to avoid my chicken list in terms of the people I need to call, and then I'm going to go to a meeting, and I'm going to roll my eyes and text under the table, and I'm going to go back to my desk, and I'm going to look at the list of people that I need to call, and I'm going to look at Facebook again. Then I'm going to go to another meeting, and I'm going to text under the table and roll my eyes at these people that I have to deal with, and then I'm going to go back to my desk, and I'm going to look at what's on sale at Zappos. And then I'm going to go back to another meeting, and I'm going to text under the table and roll my eyes, and then I'm going to go back to my desk and check Facebook one more time, and then I'm going to race back home, I'm going to skip the gym, I'm going to walk in the door, I'm going to snap at my spouse, and then I'm going to drink a lot. It's going to be awesome. To do. What happens is actually something scarier, everybody. What happens is you get triggered. What happens is your emotions take over and that winning mindset is out the door and the get out of the way, I'm in a bad mood mindset is bad. And next thing you know, you're making decisions based on anxiety and overwhelm and procrastination and self-doubt. And you end up, holy cow, over here, and you think, wait a minute, how did I get over here? I want to get over here, but you don't know how to do it, and here's a huge mistake every one of us makes. We think we have to do something big. I am telling you right now, the only way to get more is to do the little things. That's how you do it. It's how you do it. You know what to do. Well, when I think about this moment in my life, facing bankruptcy and divorce and drinking way too much, I know that if I hadn't discovered what I'm about to share with you, my marriage would have been over, we would have lost everything, I'd be an alcoholic, I have no idea what I've been doing for a living. But thank goodness, one night everything changed. I was sitting there watching TV, and I was having one of those talks. You ever have those talks with yourself? You're like, all right, that's it. Tomorrow, it's the new year. You got this. And I was saying, you got to start with getting out of bed now. Okay? You got to start with the alarm clock. And I'm thinking, okay, I got to get up on time. And all of a sudden, this went across the screen. And I had this epiphany. It's like an alarm that went off in me, and I was like, oh, that's the answer of getting up on time. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm clock goes off, I'm going to launch myself out of bed like a rocket ship. I'm going to move so fast that self-doubt can't beat me. Now look, it could have been the 4 Manhattans I had that gave me that idea, because I know it sounds kind of dumb, and I was drinking a lot. Because don't you do this when things aren't working out right? This isn't fair. I don't deserve this. This is your fault. This shouldn't be happening. And have you ever noticed how we're designed? That when you point the finger and do the blame and complain and the self-doubt game, there's always 3 fingers pointing right back at you.
Oh, how cool is that?
You know what that is? That is a cool trick that's annoying when you're stuck. Because what it means is the power is inside you to solve and face anything. And it begins with your mindset. Well, for whatever reason, the very next morning the alarm clock goes off. Nothing had changed in my life. We're a week away from the bankruptcy proceeding. I immediately remember that idea of launching myself out of bed, and my next thought was, that's the dumbest thing I've ever thought of in my entire life. I don't feel like it, and it's cold, and I don't want to. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I just started counting backwards, just like NASA does when they launch a rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all of a sudden I'm up, and I'm like, okay, wait. What's happening? That's the strangest thing. Now, I know my mom comes from a long farming family, but was there a witch in there somewhere? Because this is sort of like a little stone. And I go on with my day. The next morning, the alarm goes off. That's what happened. That self-doubt bubble starts to fill up, and I start thinking, well, this is not going to make a difference, and I don't want to get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm up again. And at that point, I'm like, okay, woo. All right, I get it. I discovered a little trick to get up on time. Let's see if this works in other situations. Anytime I don't feel like doing something, but I know I should, let's pull this thing out and see what happens. So I walk into the kitchen, and you know how the thing happens when you see somebody you love and you just want to kill them? So I see my husband Chris standing there, minding his own business, and it's like the tidal wave. It's coming out. Because his restaurants are going under, and I do want to kill him, but I don't want to kill him. I mean, the truth is, I didn't want to get a divorce. I love this guy, but I was afraid. I was a walking ball of emotions. I didn't think we could get ourselves out of this, and it was easier to yell. But I went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and something amazing happened. Suddenly, I was able to speak to him from a place of my values, instead of being so triggered. So I see my sneakers. I know I need to exercise, but it's fed at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm out the door. I see the phone. I know I should look for a job, but I don't feel it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm picking it up and making calls. And I will be darned if slowly but surely everything changed because I had a simple tool to change my mindset. I had a simple tool to make different decisions. Chris 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 brought it into the restaurant business and started renegotiating leases. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're walking away from the alcohol. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're restructuring things, and everything changed. Now, in full disclosure, I never intended to tell anybody about this. Ever. I mean, you know, first of all, it sounds kind of stupid. You want more? Count to 5. The speech is over. I'm out. Secondly, I didn't know why it worked. Well, that all changed about 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, somebody asked me, by this point, I've got a syndicated radio show, I've launched a little tech company, Chris's restaurant business is doing great, our marriage has turned around, and somebody asked me to come give a talk about career change. In full disclosure, this was the first time I had ever given a speech in my entire life, so if you want to know what it looks like to have a 21-minute long panic attack, this is In fact, if you look closely, you'll see that we're only a minute in, and I've already got a big neck rash going, and flushes coming on. By minute 19, everybody, I literally have a full-blown break with reality, anxiety attack. I completely forget how to end the speech. And I go, oh, there's this thing I do, I call it the 5-second rule. The moment you have an instinct to act, you gotta move within 5 seconds or your brain's gonna kill you. I turn, I walk off the stage, I go backstage, I say to my husband, Chris, don't ever let me do anything like that again. That was the worst experience of my life. And then something crazy happened. Somebody put this online a year later, and it now has 15 million views. It's one of the most viewed TEDx talks in the world. And that's not even the crazy part. You want to know the crazy part? People started to write. And by people, I mean strangers. And by strangers, I mean 250,000 of them from 91 countries. And those are just the people that wrote to us. Hey, Mel, I heard about the 5-second rule, and I'm on pace to double my business, and I'm actually present with my kids. Whoa, I'm using the 5-second rule, and I've got the courage to reach out to people that I really admire about this thing I'm excited about. Wow, I brought the 5-second rule back to my team at work, and we're now #1 in the region. Guess what? She's now #1 in the country. Why? I'll tell you why. You're not selling anything if you're thinking about doing it. You better believe you should. Should you teach it to your kids?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, but proceed with caution because they will use it on you. Okay? Some of the things that you're going to find out is it's super easy to use because it's a self-coaching tool. You just push yourself forward or you pull yourself away. And look, I'm totally cool with you hating me as long as you're getting more out of your life, okay? Some of the things that I'm really excited about is it's being used very successfully around the world with CBT therapy to help people manage addictions. In fact, we hear from people every week that say thinking about sobriety